Do the work that only you can do. This is a piece of advice that I got from the book Hard Times Create Strong Men, and it means a lot to me because often as young guys who are masculine, who are hardworking, you will have your best life when you are just so one pointed focus to this goal that you really care about. You can remember those times when maybe you really cared about studying or the gym or your financial goals, and you just had so much motivation and drive and you were just going from A to B with so much clarity. But at some point in your life, whether it's happened already or it will happen soon, you will start to get influenced by like the sort of pussy Jeffrey narrative, which is of weak men telling you like, oh no, just like, take more time off and, don't work so hard, don't go to the gym so hard, and like, just go and do something that's a bit more fun, go and have more fun. And I listen to this kind of like bullshit narrative on and off, and it pisses me off when I think about the times when I've been influenced by other people who don't like their lives. They saw me working hard, enjoying my life, but what I was doing, like the activities I was doing, like working hard, waking up early, they didn't enjoy, and so they thought that I was not living a good life. And I've just spent like the last few weeks, honestly, in this massive rut, complacent as fuck. And I've just realized over the last few days why. It was because I wasn't working as hard. It's because I was just like, doing these like fun activities that everyone else thinks is fun, like, traveling and like I'm in Bali right now. And I know that lots of people would give up their left testicle to be here in paradise and, with a beautiful girl in your arms, and you go hop on the scooter and you go to restaurants and you're doing fun stuff. But the truth is, if you're anything like me, your greatest sense of fulfillment is going to come from your work. It's going to come from the progress that you make in your goals. And to sacrifice that, to live this life which is unoptimized for your work, it takes a lot away from you. So I started reading the book Hard Times Create Strong Men again. And the author is Stefan Onio. He's passed away now. And there's just a few quotes in that book. I was reading the second chapter, which is on money and work, which really just hit me, and I wanted to talk to it about you, just to bring it up to you, because I think as a young man, we really need this kind of guidance. The one quote was, do the work that only you can do. And he talks about like bees. He says like, how the bumblebee doesn't try and go to Europe to find itself. The bumblebee wakes up and it does the work that only the bumblebee can do, which is, make the honey or whatever. And it just does it without complaining, without, saying, oh, but I feel depressed or anything. It's very interesting that the more that we step away from our sort of mentality of like, just work like the bumblebee, just chop wood and carry water, the more we step away from that masculine one-pointed focus and we start to ask ourselves like, but what's my passion? Like maybe I should go travel, and maybe I should just go and like, find myself and stuff. But when we get into that mode, that's often when we're more depressed. That's often when we're more unhappy. Man needs to be doing something. Man needs to wake up, chop wood, carry water, because that's what gives you like a sense of meaning in your life, that people need you to work. This idea of this works for like maybe feminine men. This works for like useless men of like, just go like enjoy your life, just go and do whatever you want. Like, it doesn't matter. Like that works for men who feel like they have no responsibilities. And there is some guys who like, they're obviously like simpleton guys, and they'll just have like a lot of fun chasing dopamine, watching a bit of porn, smoking a bit of weed and drinking a bit of alcohol and having some sex and ejaculating. Like those men will live very simple lives, and they'll probably be happier than us. And that's fine. Their parents are broke. Their parents, like their 55-year-old mother is an alcoholic who still works full-time, and he's not been able to retire her because his mind is all on himself. So that's a failure of a man, in my opinion. For me, the success of a man comes down to how purposeful he has been and how much he has helped others, how much he has served others. It's only when I get into these states where I am just totally doing work for other people, that is when I'm the most alive. I'll say this again because this is so different from what everyone else talks about these days. Everyone is so individual, so modern. Everyone talks about so much about, I'm just doing this for myself. I'm not doing this for anyone else. I find that so ridiculous, because your greatest sense of motivation will come when you are doing things for other people. So I'll ask you first of all, who could you work hard for? Could it be your mother? Could it be your father? And also, what could you work on? Man must do the work that is in front of him. There's a saying in the Bible, idle hands, what is it? Someone, maybe a Christian might know, or someone might know, and they could comment below. Idle hands are the devil's work. It essentially means like people who aren't working actively end up becoming bad people. And I think that's so true, especially for men. Men who aren't working hard end up becoming like bad people morally, or just useless people because of addictions, and they just succumb to the pressures of porn and video games. But when you have a big purpose, when you have a big goal that you're working really hard on, it's like you become such a contributing member of society. You smile more, you're more warm to the random person that you walk past, you're more polite, you're more giving, you tip the waitress, you send money over to your family. Everyone benefits because of your existence. Even the world benefits. Like when you work harder, you find yourself even taking care of like your country, your city, your town. This is what I think is sacrificing a lot of men, and I get into these like ruts myself. It's been a couple of times over the last few years where I've just looked around and found myself for the last like month or so realizing like, wait, I've not even worked that hard on anything. I've not even pushed myself. I've not even been at my potential. I've just been slacking. I've just been like, enjoying the dopamine of life, having a lot of sex, eating a lot of food. And those things are like, you thought all this time that that's what you've wanted. All this time you thought like that was the height of life. Like that's what I really wanted. When you do get it, as any guy will tell you, when you do get it, it doesn't feel anywhere near as special. Like going to the fancy restaurant that you've been hyping up, taking the trip and stuff, none of it feels as good as just grinding away at the work that you think is meaningful. So man must do the work that is in front of him, and the work that only you can do. For me, that was really the quote that hit. Do the work that only you can do. For me, that's recording. As a YouTuber, I can only be the one who is on the content, who's recording the videos. And for the last few weeks, I found myself like, asking all these pussy questions. But do I really want to record videos? Maybe I want to try this thing instead. Maybe I want to try this thing instead. Yeah, fine. Try whatever you want. That's awesome. But you get the fucking work done that only you can do. If there's people who rely on you, which there absolutely is, and I've been slacking with my recording, I've been slacking with, being on camera, I feel almost ashamed that it suddenly hit me and I clicked out of it like last night or the night before, and just realized like, man, I've been acting like a Jeffrey just because I'm not really sure if I really want to record videos. It's not really that fun. Like, so yeah, sometimes your work isn't going to be fun. Deal with it. That's what it takes to be with a masculine, successful man. Sometimes it's not going to be fun. Sometimes it's not, you're not going to have the motivation. Sometimes you need to do that hard work, especially when you don't feel like it.